ADDRESSEES is frauds. All my women is boss.
How has battle rap changed from back in the day to now?
I mean, I think now it's a formula. You know, everybody's following a specific formula. You know, styles, you know, a lot of times people say styles make fights. You know, I always felt like people were just relying so much on the punch, you know, and that kind of took battle rap away from what it used to be, which was, you know, everybody had a different style. Like Rex sounded different from Verb, who sounded different from Ill, who sounded different from T, who sounded different from X Factor, who sounded different from Math, who sounded different from Cortez, who sounded different from Khan. Now everybody kind of sounds the same. Like everybody's either trying to sound like Twerk, shout out to Twerk, that's my guy. They're trying to sound like Rum Nitty, shout out to Rum, that's my guy. They're trying to sound like a hybrid of those two, maybe sometimes, you know, K-Shine here and there. Shout out to Shine. Shout out to Rock. They're trying to sound like Rock. You know, so that's the URL side. And then you got, you know, King of the Dot, which they rely heavily on multisyllabics. I don't want to say jokes, because jokes are punchlines too, but they rely heavily on, you know, multis, right? So you got people that are trying to sound like Thesaurus. Shout out to Thesaurus, that's my guy. Shout out to Ilmac, that's my guy. Like all of these guys are skilled in that space. And then the RBE guys, you know, it's, you know, they're focused on exactly what their styles are, right? You got Ill Will, who sounds different from Hitman, who sounds different from Rosenberg, who sounds different. Like, I feel like everybody is kind of moving in their own space, but nobody's really, I think RBE, in terms of their artists, they all sound different. URL, like, they kind of follow, they're the biggest league, so like when you're mainstream, you have to kind of follow a particular formula. So yeah, I mean, and then you got Chrome, where the women do what the women do. Like, it's just, I just feel like people just, you know, I feel like sometimes MCs just kind of need to find their style and find different ways to say different things. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
What do you think about the state of battle rap, where it's at right now?
I mean, people saying that it's dying. We always say that it's dying every like year. I'm a victim of that. I've said it in 2013. I said it in 2015. I said it a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's.
What do you mean when you say that then? Since you've been one of the ones who say that.
I mean, it's just the feel of it, right? Like the feel. Sometimes it's just not the same. You know, like. I feel like, you know, Summer Madness 2 was an event. That was a movie, man. Like, still to this day, I don't want to be that old guy that's just harping on that last event, but it was something about that particular.
Culture shifting. I agree.
That was a moment in time. Everything. That was a moment in time, bro. Like, that was 12 years ago. You know. Damn. You got to think. Jay tweeted, "You gonna get this work." You know, Lux went and met with everybody. You know, it was a first and only 5-round battle on URL. You know, like Diddy giving up 10K, the return of Sirius Jones, one of the greatest rebuttals ever from, you know, Charlie Clips. You know, Ines just like imploding on stage. And then, you know, the emergence of John Jonathan and the crazy performance from Hitman. Like, you gotta, like, that was like a moment in time.
Yeah.
JC and Chilla happened that weekend. Ill Will, Body and Johnny Alcatraz happened that weekend. Like, we're talking like a legendary weekend, you know, and it's hard to match that energy. There was a lot of energy behind Max Out 3 as well. Like, it kind of felt the same way a little bit. Yeah. It just didn't have the like super celebrity star power that it could have been. But I enjoyed it. But I still feel like, you know, these one-offs that ARP is doing is dope. I'm hearing some great things that URL is getting ready to start doing. I'm not gonna, you know, let the cat out the bag, but you know, I hear they got some really innovative things on the way. So I'm hoping that it kind of goes back to that space where MCs are really just trying to show who's the better MC. You know, I think that's what it's about. That's what, you know, I know people like the big stages and the lights and I think that should just stay to it should be once a year, maybe twice a year. You know, like I'm not mad at homecoming and just homecoming and Summer Madness. You know, one big New York event, one big summer event, and that's it. Everything else should just be, y'all got to stick to the basics, like the basics, and maybe do some different things. You know, different things are great. Like trying different ways to approach the space will always help things grow. Like I'm always looking to try different things with Pendulum, bringing in different professors to build the experience up. You have to inject new ideas, new feeling into the space, or it's always going to remain stagnant.
Is the battle rap you knew or you loved, is that dead? Or is it still very much alive? Or is this some whole different
spurts.
shit that we different?
It's
Are we dealing with
spurts.
some whole different shit right now?
It might be some different shit. I mean, but it's in spurts.
Okay.
You know, like 2012 to me is a great year. 2014 was a great year. I thought 2020 was a great year. The pandemic, people, they shifted very well.
That was a great year. I feel
2020 was a great year.
the fact that, like you said, the whole big stage shit got shut down,
Yeah.
I feel like it made everybody fall back in love with battle rap again.
2018 was a great year. I think people kind of forget about 2018 and how good that year was, right? Like Twerk had a great year that year. Geechee, the rise of Geechee was great.
Yeah, that was his first champion year.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think there's it happens in spurts where like it's just droughts. You know, sometimes MCs just can't do it anymore, right? Like at that high level. So we have to appreciate everything that happens when it does happen. You know what I mean?
All my wrists is frost.